Welcome to another episode of Drinking After Dark, a podcast where we discuss random topics while having a few drinks. I'm your host, Darius, and as always, drink responsibly. And y'all make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to Drinking After Dark podcast YouTube channel. Tonight, very special guest. He's back again. Y'all know who he is, man. We're gonna have fun one more time, man, and many times to come. Welcome back my cousin, my family, Ron, man, what's going on?
What up? It's good to be here. Thank you for having me on the show again.
Man, I appreciate you being here, man. What you drinking on this evening?
I've got some Knob Creek bourbon that trying to, I've just been sipping on it a little bit here and there, and I was like, I might as well go ahead and finish it tonight. So, saving it just for the podcast.
That's what's up. And tonight, man, usually I'm drinking something, but since I've been outside, I've been in this heat all week. I don't really have the taste for the alcohol, so I'm just drinking on water tonight. I got a long weekend ahead of me still with tax-free weekend. If anybody who works retail, y'all know what I'm talking about. We gonna be suffering this weekend. Let's put it that way.
Stay hydrated.
Definitely stay hydrated. If you're gonna be outdoors, if you could, get under a shade tree, please, just stay safe out there. Please stay safe. Um, we got a lot to talk. We're gonna talk about a couple of things, but we all know this week has been a tough week for everyone. Uh, if y'all know, we've had a few passings this week. Malcolm Jamal Warner. I don't know about you, cuz, but when I first saw it, I was completely shocked. My heart dropped. I couldn't even believe it when I first read it. And then every major outlet came out, confirmed it. RIP to Michael Jamal Warner. Um, thoughts and prayers to his family. And then the very next day, another passing. Ozzy Osbourne, the legend, metal. Uh, I mean, Ozzy Osbourne passed away. And then the news earlier that came out today, uh, my wife actually texted this to me while I was at work. Uh, Hulk Hogan, regardless how y'all feel about him outside of the ring, but uh, Hulk Hogan passed away early today, cardiac arrest. So it's been a tough week. Uh, I don't know how did you feel when you heard before we get into the topic we're gonna get into. When you first heard about Malcolm Jamal Warner's passing, man, what was going through your mind?
It was like losing a member of the family because when I was younger, back when the Cosby Show was really a hit, a lot of people told me that I was his doppelganger. Like I used to walk around Opryland with a couple of guys act like they were my security and sign autographs as if I was Malcolm Jamal Warner. And I've always joked saying that when I made it famous, I needed him to portray me in my biopic. But Malcolm I followed his career ever since Cosby. He seems to be a real stand up guy, good person. Shout out to his family. Keep him in my thoughts and my prayers. And they say he drowned, which is and people were questioning like, how did he drown? How did he was in a rip current? How come he couldn't swim out of a rip current? That's very possible. If you do your homework, it's very possible to get caught up in a rip current and not be able to get out of it. So, but yeah, that hurt. That one hurt.
Yeah, that definitely hurt. Also, news came out that was another person also caught in that same current as well, in critical condition. So,
Wow.
um, thoughts and prayers to that individual as well. Um, Ozzy Osbourne. Listen, I watched the reality show. I wasn't a fan. I'm not saying I wasn't a fan of his music. I never heard of his music. Not like that. It wasn't until I started working at my current job and I started watching like all the old 80s music videos. and I started listening to more of his stuff. I'm like, okay, I get it why he was such why he was great at what he did. And I know he was going through a lot up to his passing, but you know, prayers out to
So,
his family.
so you've heard Iron Man, haven't you?
Was that Iron Man?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's him.
Oh, that's him?
Yeah, yeah, that's when he was with Black Sabbath.
Okay. The group I knew, but I didn't
Yeah,
really know
yeah,
him.
yeah. He was a front man,
Okay.
and then he went solo, and he was famous for having these wild concerts where he would bite the heads off of bats and all of that. He was a real metalhead, for real.
Yeah. He was actually in was he in that movie Little Nicky when he actually did that? Like I think that was him in a way, kind of. I don't know if you remember Little Nicky with Adam Sandler.
Yeah, I remember the movie. I don't remember him being in it, but
I, I think that was him.
it wouldn't surprise me, given who his character is, like who he portrayed. But yeah, that would hurt a little bit too. Hulk would have hurt if it wasn't for his antics out of the ring. You know, everybody
Yeah.
watched wrestling and everybody was little Hulkamaniacs. But then as he got older and showed his true colors, I mean, I'm not saying that that doesn't make it as sad, but at the same time, I became less and less of a fan of him because of the shenanigans he pulled outside of the ring.
Yeah, I
So
mean, you can't take away what he's done inside the wrestling ring, how he really brought up the sport of wrestling. Um, but yeah, like you said, when he got older, a lot of things started coming out, started showing his true colors. And you think about earlier this year, um, first episode of Raw on Netflix, he came out. They pretty much booed him out the arena.
him and his
And
beer.
yeah, and people thought, I know some people thought it had something to do with him being a Trump supporter. That could be true, but that's not all the whole truth. If you, I don't know if you saw it on Netflix, the Vince McMahon documentary.
No, I didn't.
So if you that came out right before the first episode of Raw, and all that stuff, Hogan was in there, and you start, hearing these stories. I know one of the wrestlers you remember watching, Jesse the Body Ventura.
Oh yeah.
So he was actually trying to organize a union
Mm.
within and he pretty much had people on board, but the one person that went behind his back was Hogan. He went straight to Vince and told him what was going on. So
Oh,
he had that. I know Undertaker had issues with Hogan. It was like a whole bunch of wrestlers. So all this stuff started coming out about him and everything like that. Um, but yeah, that one can't take away what he's done for wrestling. However you feel about him personally outside the ring, it's justified. But another one that kind of took us by surprise. Nobody didn't see that one coming either. So
and
um,
then I saw it just kind of slipped under the radar because a lot of people aren't familiar with who this brother is. But Chuck Mangione passed away today.
the jazz musician.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I saw that earlier today. I'm like, man, that's kind of like when Farrah Fawcett when she died the same day as Michael Jackson.
yeah.
You know, it's like if it was just her, it would have been big news, but Michael died the exact same day, and that just overshadowed, that. So RP, man, RP to him, man, and thoughts and
Right,
prayers to their families. All right, y'all.
absolutely.
So let's go ahead and let's talk about this particular topic. RG3 facing backlash for basically a tweet that he didn't put out, but he reposted on X, formerly known as Twitter. And basically, it's a monkey post, Angel Reese. I don't know what his thought process was, and all of that, but I could tell you, I'm just gonna read what the intent was, what his intent was. He stated that it was to condemn the racist nature of the original image and raise awareness about racism directed towards Reese. He also claimed in the same post that he had heard from Reese's inner circle that she hates fellow WNBA star Caitlin Clark. Okay, we're gonna start with just the first part of that. Um, do you believe RG3 when you said that?
Well, first of all, you've got to take it back a little further than that. And he tweeted, and I'm gonna find the tweet, but he actually said, "Look, I got my reading glasses on, so I'm serious today." He actually made mention of the fact that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. This is how the whole thing started. Because Caitlin Clark came down the lane, fouled her hard, and all of a sudden, Angel Reese, who has already been pinned as the villain, hates Caitlin Clark. So that's actually where it all started from. And a lot of people were angry, not only because, I mean, how can you can't, you don't have any definitive proof that somebody hates somebody. You know, to me, people like RG3, they figured out the internet. They figured out that dumb shit gets clicks. So he had to he had to find he had to be a bully and pick on Angel Reese just so I mean ain't nobody checking for RG3 out there in the podcast world. He's not Ryan Clark, he's not Joe Budden, he's not Joe Rogan, he's RG3. So he's got to say these obnoxious things just to get people to tune in. And that was one of the obnoxious sayings that he concocted, that he didn't say they hate each other. He said Angel Reese hated Caitlin Clark. So that's how it all started. Then he turns around and posts somebody did the meme of the monkey on the uh, WNBA 2K cover,
Mhm.
and he, he tried to be slick about it. And I guess he thinks people don't see the subtext in it. Like if you find a picture offensive, if you're on there talking about a picture that's offensive, why would you post a picture?
Right.
This is the racism that I'm talking about, and yada yada yada. But then you turn around and you post the very same picture.
Mhm.
So that's what really got people more in an uproar, and he had to double back and try to bring some validity to his original claim by stating that people in her inner circle has shared with him that Angel Reese does actually hate Caitlin Clark. He doesn't know anybody in her inner circle. Angel Reese and her mom has come out and said that. So where are you getting this information from?
Yeah, I mean, here's my thing. First off, the person who did the original post, nobody knew about it until RG3 posted it.
Exactly. Exactly.
And you just gave it more power than what it actually deserves, right? And we all know your people already, especially in the black community, are already looking at you, excuse me, with their eyes wide open anyway. for some of the other things as well. But if you had a problem with the post, you could just report that to Twitter. You could click on the report thing and say, "Hey, this is offensive," blah blah, stuff like that, like you do with any other platform. You could have done that. You didn't have to re you know share it on your platform and then trying to make it seem like this is what I'm talking about. Come on, man. We all saw we all saw right through it. Okay. So I don't know what point you was trying to make here. Well, I, we okay. You was trying to do something, but it didn't work in your favor. It didn't work.
Nah,
And
it didn't.
you got people coming out, most famously Shaq, basically saying he want to punch you in your face. It's basically saying it's on site once he see you.
Right, right. And Shaq, we all know Shaq. Shaq's not that type of guy. You don't. Shaq's not like a bully or anything. Shaq's a jokester. He clowns around a lot. But when he said that, I felt that in my spirit, and I kind of felt sorry for RG3 because the last person you want punch you in your face is Shaq. But
Mhm.
in situations like this, I don't condone violence, but I felt like that needed to be said by somebody who's, people said all the time, oh, I'll beat your ass, or I'll kick you in the face, or whatever. They say it all the time, but for somebody to actually do it, we know Shaq will actually do it. And somebody who has enough money to beat you up and get out of it,
Yeah.
Shaq's the guy, pretty much. So it's and I hate that it got to that point, but I mean, RG3 brought it upon himself. And of course, there won't be a rebuttal. He's not going to say anything else about Shaq. In fact, he'll probably fade into obscurity with this particular topic and go on to the next one. That would be in his best interest to do so, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah. I mean, come on now. It's like a super heavyweight versus I don't know what RG3 he'll be, a middleweight, maybe at that,
Lightweight.
lightweight. So yeah, I mean, again, like you said, he did bring it upon himself. I think it just got to a point where, you know, Shaq spoke for a lot of people. And I think they got tired of it was transpiring far too long. And it's like, okay, enough is enough. Again, nobody is advocating for violence or anything like that, but some point it'll get to that point. Not saying it will ever happen, but if somebody's threatening you and they look dead in the camera and basically saying pretty much it's on site when I see you.
And pull their glasses off. When you
Pull
did
that
like this,
yeah,
when you start removing articles of clothing, like women in the street, they get ready to fight and they're pulling their earrings off or whatever. Or here, hold my jacket. They're serious. So Shaq was dead ass. It's on site when he see him. It's
yep.
not saying that he'll ever see him, but if he see him, I believe he will punch that guy in the face. It would be best for RG3 to admit his wrongdoings. He's probably not, and apologize and be done with it. But
Yeah, I mean,
he's not. He's always RG3 is the type to me that throws rocks and hides his hands. Perfect example when he was first talking about the Angel Reese thing. His wife was in the background and she was nodding her head and clapping and completely on one accord with everything RG3 was saying.
mhm.
Ryan Clark came out and said that RG3 can't have conversations. He can't go home and have conversations about black women because he didn't marry a black woman.
Right.
Then RG3 comes back out and says, you crossed the line. You talked about my family, you talked about my wife, you don't talk about folks' wives and kids. He didn't talk about your wife. He talked about your decision
Yeah.
and how you and the conversations that you can't, which you can't. I mean, I'm not a racist person. I love everybody. I've been in a couple of, biracial relationships myself,
Mhm.
but you can't go home. You can't have a conversation with somebody that doesn't relate to the situation.
Right.
And really, that's all Ryan Clark was saying. So RG3 didn't feel threatened by Ryan Clark. So he decided that he was going to, again, clout chasing, come back on and, yeah, you're wrong for talking about my wife and you leave family out of it and so on and so forth. See how you put the spin on it?
Yeah.
That's just who he is. I bet he don't put a spin on what Shaq said. That's
Nah,
it.
I mean, listen, man, everything he's accomplished on the football field is well deserved, but you got a career talking about football. I know everybody wants to have their own platform, he has his own thing. Cool. But sometimes, man, it's just best to leave. Just keep your mouth shut about certain things, especially if you don't know what you're talking about. You're just spewing stuff out there, no confirmation. Whoever you heard that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, who told you that? It definitely wasn't somebody close to the family. Definitely was because you would have heard it someone in the immediate family, or it might have been, mom, maybe some really close relative or whoever. But just saying stuff like that, and did he say he got a phone call from him?
I don't know if he said he had a phone call. He just said he talked to people that are in her circle
Sir,
and they shared that information with him. No, dude, you don't know anybody that they know. And nobody's going to share that kind of information with you.
it's
He's And it's
and
okay. I have no problem with him talking about discussing the performance of the WNBA. If you're a sports podcaster, that's what you do. But to make this whole scenario about one player hates another player without any proof, that's like, I mean, like Michael Jordan hates Isaiah. Hates Michael Jordan. We know that. They've
yeah,
said
that's
they've gone on record saying such. But it's like he's trying to make something out of nothing. And again, that's how you get clicks. That's how he makes money. And you're right. For his accomplishments on the field, for the fact that he won a Heisman, it's sad that this is what he's going to be remembered for
that's what
saying
Shaq.
for saying
That's what.
dumb shit on the internet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Shaq said. He said, "I don't want to be remembered for my podcast, but you're gonna be remembered for yours." So, and whenever when all that first started, right? We all seen the foul. I mean, you play sports, I play sports. Things happen in the heat of the moment, right? We seen. I know I done got fouled by guys who are cool with me, but guess what? We're in a It's an emotional game. Anybody who plays sports understand the emotions are real high, very competitive. Things happen in the course of a game, but that doesn't. I mean, you try to drive this narrative like one person hates the other. Ain't none of them came out and said they hated each other. So why would you come out and say something like that?
During the Olympics, Kobe Bryant ran through Paul Gasol, and he said it. First play, I'm gonna run through Paul Gasol, and they're teammates.
Yeah,
So that's just sometimes that's just how the game is played. Sometimes you have to set that precedence of the game to to let you think twice about making another move or moving a certain way. So hard fouls happen.
It happens, man.
He
Hard
with
fouls happen, hard hits happen. We've seen fights in every sport. It just goes now. It's
that's
just a
just
part
that's just
of the
part of the
nature of sports.
game. That's just part of the game.
But who does RG3 remind you of though? I mean, the way he's talking, the way he's feels like he's just talking down on people. Who does he remind you of? Someone else is out there.
Jason Whitlock.
I can see it.
Jason Whitlock. Because Jason Whitlock has he's made a plethora of comments against black athletes. Let me see if I can find a couple of them online. I should have been ready for this. But yeah, you never. I'll put it this way: Jason Whitlock is so venomous. He's been fired from ESPN and Fox. How do you get fired from both
From
places? Especially
yeah,
Fox, because Fox they spew venom. They spew the type of venom. That's like his fan base.
yeah.
So how do you spew? You're spewing real venom if Fox fires you.
Mhm.
Let's see. See if I can find some of the dumb.
I mean, I've never been a fan of Jason Whitlock. Even back then, just hearing his takes on everything, I felt like it felt it felt like it was an attack on the athletes, and I just didn't. I don't like that. If you want to criticize their play, okay, cool, but I just don't like when I see sports journalists go after players personally. I don't like that. And then you got to think Jason Whitlock, excuse me, what he's doing now. I mean, he talking about everything now. It's like whatever it is out there, news wise, entertainment, politics, sports, and it feels this. He has that same energy across all three, and it's kind of, especially when it comes to like black people. I
Well,
don't.
he's got to get clicks like Candace Owens.
I
Sa-
just
Same difference.
I just don't like. I don't like what. Okay, I don't. It's the reason why I don't watch him. There's a reason I don't watch
But for the same reasons we don't watch them, those are the reasons others watch him because he spews venom on black athletes. I mean, he never has anything good to say about a black athlete.
what has happened in his life. I just if I could ask him a question, what
Yeah.
a- what
What
has
what
happened in your
what is
life
what
to
what has jaded you? What jaded you? I would ask Candace Owens the same thing. I would ask RG3 the same thing. Tim Scott, like what? There's nothing wrong with loving everybody, but when you become a traitor to your own race, your own kind, like if you're black, then that means your mom is black and your dad is black. Chances are, and you have black aunties and black cousins, and you know this is your village. So how do you turn your back on your village? Like were you scorned as a child? Did you not get enough hugs as a kid, or what is it? A lot of them, honestly, again, figured out the internet, and they spew this venom that makes other people tune in. Just like what was the girl's names? One of them died. Diamond and Silk.
Dominant Silk? Yeah,
Exactly. That's case in point. And all these Trump supporters talking about, oh my God, we just love you. You're such American patriots, and God bless you. And black people are like, y'all can keep them. So It's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, some people they just want to be the voice of others, and um, sh- I don't know. I wish I could ask him. I wish I could ask him. He'll probably never come on a platform like this. But if I had to ask him, I'll ask one question straight to the point. What is happening in your life? Possibly in your childhood, because that's pretty much where it probably
Yeah,
started in your
yeah.
childhood to make you hate black people. Like,
And
or
this is,
you talking down, like, again, it ain't just sports, but it's like every sports, politics, entertainment. Like, what is it? What's going through your mind? Let me know. I like to ask all of them the same questions.
this clown went on Tucker Carlson's show to suggest that conservative states cede from the union. What? You trying to start another civil war? Like, there are some real live Clayton Bigsby's and Uncle Ruckuses out there,
Yeah.
and Jason Whitlock is one of them.
Are you still trying to find some of the things he said?
That was one of the things he said.
Okay, that's one of the things he said. Okay.
Yeah, conservative states should cede from the union. Okay, dude, whatever. Let's
Uh,
see. Let me see if I can find something else. But yeah, I guess that's their hustle. It's
well, yeah,
like,
you got to make money somehow, some way. So if you got to live with that. If you're comfortable with it, you live okay. But at some point, don't try to double back, trying to get on this side, because that's not going to happen.
nah, nah. Let me see what he's saying on this YouTube page here. I think he was saying that at one point he said something about he said black WNBA players are triggered by Caitlin Clark. He did say that on Fox Sports. Black WNBA players are triggered by Caitlin Clark's success. One of the biggest stories in sports last year and a half, and the person that should be sports person of the year is Caitlin Clark. What cannot be discussed is the level of racial animus that is being directed at her. If you're an independent media, if you're Twitter, you can talk about it all the time, but I've yet to see it discussed at ESPN like, holy cow, these hating ass Shaquanas. This is racism.
So I pulled up some. So I was going to read them out, just a couple. This is the female commentators in the NBA. Excuse me. He criticized the presence of female commentators during NBA games, expressing annoyance at ESPN's commentators like Candace Parker. Why? Uh, he had one about LeBron James. Uh,
See, LeBron has become, I hate to say, excuse me, LeBron has become the poster child for conservative black people to go after because he's a soft target, because he doesn't say anything, he speaks up. He speaks up about the rights of African Americans and police brutality and things of that nature. But you never hear him talk bad about just people in general. So, Candace Owens has said things about him. He's become that soft spot because they know
really,
he's not going to retaliate.
yeah.
Verbally, he's not going to do that. So that's why he's become a target. Just like, here's a perfect example: Chris Rock and Will Smith at the Oscars.
Yeah,
Would Will Smith have walked up there if Jamie Foxx was standing on stage? Hell no, because Jamie Foxx would have beat the brakes off of him. He
it
he
was.
felt like he felt like Chris Rock was a soft spot, was a soft target. He knew exactly what Chris Rock was going to do, and I mean, sat down and enjoyed the rest of the show. Like, let's just say The Rock was up there, or just any other celebrity, Jason Sudeikis, Adam Sandler. Would he have walked up there and slapped one of them? No, but
Mm-mm.
he did it. People do what they feel like they can get away with.
Yeah,
So that's the whole thing behind RG3, behind Candace Owens, behind Jason Whitlock. They're saying these things because they know they can get away with it. And they have an audience that wants to hear their rhetoric. Simple.
that's the internet for you guys. If you want to be seen, you want to be heard. Controversy. I mean, get say what you can to get you views, get you clicks, get you
That's
likes,
what it is. People aren't worried about love anymore. They're worried about likes.
and that's where we at in the society. Um, so I don't know. I again, RG3, Jason Whitlock. I could tell you to do better, but you won't. I mean, it just you're gonna continue to do what you do as long as it's paying your bills. You're gonna continue to do what you do,
Yeah,
and
there's no wealth in good health, so they got to be sick with it.
yeah, they definitely gotta be sick with it. Um, let me see what else, because there was something else about Jason Whitlock. It was in my mind, then it went out. Soup, I forgot. I'm trying to find it. I just had it. I'm sorry, y'all. Excuse me. I had it.
Well, he made mention of George Floyd. He said, think of all the people who have died on May 25th in the Minneapolis area. The one worth honoring in the minds of the Minnesota Lynx is George Floyd. If you don't have fatigue, you should. Like, dude. I mean, he said he's made comments regarding Trayvon Martin. Like, Trayvon Martin deserved what he got. He's made derogatory comments against uh what's his name though? Philando Castile, I believe that's his name. The
Yeah,
one that the officers,
in front of his
yeah,
was it his kids was in the back seat
yeah,
and his
yeah,
wife uh in there too, I think.
yeah, yeah. He's just dude. He said, I mean, he pushed the agenda that he's helped push the agenda that George Floyd died from fentanyl. Okay, so let me only weigh 215.
Uh,
Jason Whitlock weigh every bit of 450. So let me put my 215 knee in your 450 neck for 9 minutes and 43 seconds, and let's see what happens.
it's almost like he's getting paid by somebody to, well, he's getting paid, but it's like he's getting paid by somebody to spew this stuff. I don't, it's like there's somebody behind him, you know, the strings and everything, somebody behind him. And I don't like him. I just don't like him. I ain't like him
I
with
I have no love for him either. None.
I didn't like him when he was on ESPN, to be honest with you. I didn't like him when he was on Fox, when he was what was he doing when he first got to Fox Sports? I don't know what the name of it was called, but I know they changed the name to Speak. They had many different hosts since the beginning.
What was the name of that show? What's the name just got fired from that show? What's the girl name?
So they canceled a bunch of shows on Fox Sports. They canceled
Was it Speak Your Mind or
it
God?
was
What's
just
the name of that?
it was just called Speak. So they just changed the name to just Speak. And Joy Taylor,
Yeah, that should just
uh
got fired.
Keyshawn Johnson and Paul Pierce, they canceled that show. Acho with what's that show he was hosting with Shady McCoy and um oh crap. The other two football players. I can't think of their names. But they canceled that show and there was another show that came on um in the morning time, but I don't think that show was getting any type of views at all. But
Well, the show Speak for You. The show was called Speak for Yourself.
yeah,
That was the original name for the show, and then they changed when they got rid of Jason Whitlock and everybody else, and went with their new cast. Then they changed the name to Speak.
yeah. So you know, as a sports fan, I did go. I would go between ESPN and Fox Sports. You know, listen to the sports talk and everything. But yeah, I don't know what direction they're going in. They probably doing something completely new. Who knows? Uh, but with that being said, excuse me. Uh, with that being said, you know, at some point, I mean, I don't. What is your? I guess what I'm saying is like you build a platform already because you've been on different networks, and then you turn to a right wing commentator. You know, if you're a Republican, cool. If you're a Democrat, cool. Whatever. But it's what you're saying and how you saying it, and it's kind of like you, in a way, do you hate yourself too? Like,
That's that's a good question.
do you hate yourself?
That's a good question.
Because a lot of times when you brought up Candace Owens, you brought up Tim Scott, you brought up if I remember, those are the two main ones you brought up. Um,
Silk and Diamond or Diamond and
y-
Silk.
like, do you do you hate yourself? Like, are you not proud to be black?
Clarence Thomas, that's another one. That's a good question, and somebody should ask. Look, people like that, they only go on certain platforms. They're not going to go on a Roland Martin platform.
No, they're not doing that.
They're not going to go, or they're not going to face off with Dr. Umar Johnson because they know that he's going to hit them. They're going to hit them with hardcore facts, and they're going to pull the gloves off and hit them with the raw. And they're not going to they go to safe areas where they can be safe
Yeah,
and spew their hatred towards black people. I mean, Candace Owens had the chutzpah once to say that LeBron James doesn't live in a black neighborhood. Well, neither do you. You live
yeah.
in you live in Franklin somewhere. I mean, you say your biop says Nashville. You don't live in Nashville. You live
Nah,
in
we.
Franklin or Bellevue, somewhere like that. So
I thought she lived in Brentwood somewhere.
somewhere in that area. somewhere where there are people that support her conservative views. So I don't know. It's sad to say the least. But another thing about RG3, I mean, if you ever hear him talk about his wife, the only the only adjectives you hear him mention about his wife that makes her a good wife is the fact that she's white.
That's
He never talks about she's a great cook. She takes great care of our kids. Uh she works hard. She's this, she's that. No, he puts her up on this pedestal because she's to him because she's white. And again, there's nothing wrong with marrying outside of your race, but
you don't have to put your own race down to build someone else up.
exactly. You don't have to dim somebody else's light just so another light can shine brighter. You don't have to do that, and
Yeah.
that's exactly what he does.
Yeah. And to be clear, I'm not saying we're not saying that um all black Republicans are the same. We're not saying that because if you look at somebody like I don't know if you pay attention to this guy Michael Steele on MSNBC, who was a black Republican, former chair of the RNC. If you look at him, he calls it like he sees it. So I mean, everybody is not a Jason Whitlock. Everybody's not a Candace Owens. Everybody's not like that. So that's not what we're saying. We're just talking about these people specifically. That's what we're talking about. So don't try to come at us.
Right? Absolutely.
We said their names. We didn't say all. We said specific names.
I mean, at one time there were real cool black Republicans. Colin Powell was a Republican.
Yeah,
Condoleezza Rice was a Republican. So
yeah,
I mean, but they stood for something you never heard them down their race. Now,
never.
one time, if you did you hear Colin Powell say anything bad about his own people? As a matter of fact, they wanted to run for president. He was like, "No, I'm a black man. I'm not running for president. They'll probably kill me." He didn't say that as in so few words, but you picked up the gist of what he was putting down.
Right, right. So, excuse me. So that'll be a that'll be a great question. Excuse me, if somebody was to go on their platforms, ask them that question. If you got the no, you got the balls to ask that question, because I want to know what their response is. Not only what they're saying, but I want to look at their body,
Yeah, the
how
facial expressions,
the
the body
facial expression,
language.
and body language, and everything. So just to see, because you can say whatever you want to out your mouth. It could be a lie, but your facial expressions and your body ain't going to really lie to you like that. So I definitely want to see it. And look, I know Jason Whitlock ain't going, like you said, he ain't going to never go on platforms, challenge, like you said, Roland Martin be one, Dr. Umar be another. We have seen Candace Owens on platforms debating um individuals with different beliefs. It was actually one woman that actually went viral. It was a black woman who she went toe to toe with, and this woman was just, I mean, she was giving it to Candace Owens. I was trying to look up her name real quick while we was talking. I can't really find it right real quick, but um yeah, I mean, listen, we all come in different forms, colors, sizes, heights, beliefs, all that stuff. But by the end of the day, man, you ain't got to sit there and always negative. Like who
Was
wants who?
was it Jasmine Crockett?
No, 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 not Jasmine Crockett. It was crap. Hold on. Let me see. Candace. I don't know what her name is. It was another black woman. It wasn't Jasmine Crockett. Oh
Hmm.
man. Doggone it. I'm sorry, y'all. I know who it is. I know the face. Oh man. Um, wait, maybe this might be it. Let me see. Nope, they ain't it. Because this one happened like recently, like a couple months ago. Uh, I'm gonna find it. Hold on. Where is the video? It was on YouTube. Well, first off, I saw it on TikTok. Um, oh crap, I can't find it. I
You
apologize, y'all.
you figured out 5 minutes after you end the
Uh,
podcast.
yeah, I sure would, definitely would. But Ron, man, listen, man, it's always been a pleasure, man, for
Of
you to come on,
course, of course, we need to do it more often.
do it more often, man. It's been, man, I know you're busy, I'm busy, and but we always gonna make it happen. Uh, you know who I'm gonna bring back on too, man. I'm gonna bring a friend of the podcast on too. You know who I'm talking about.
My
So
girl Monica,
I'm gonna ask her. You know,
man,
whenever you ready,
Monica,
that's
Monica serious. That's my girl. We got to make that happen.
I will ask her, man. So anything that you want to bring to the table, I'll ask her about it. You know, I know she's always will make room for me. I mean, she's a supporter of the platform. I always thank her for it.
Ask her.
So
Let her pick the topic.
okay, I'll ask her when
Let her
I
pick the topic, and I do my homework on it like I always do. But yeah, that's my girl. She's serious. I follow her on Facebook, and she pulls no punches. You know, and she takes no
oh
prisoners. She's serious out there in those political streets. I can't
yeah
think of the councilman's name. I just did a shirt for her. I can't think of the councilman's name, but he's all up in arms about DEI and
yeah I know
critical
you're talking
race
about
theory, and then went to jail for DUI.
yeah
And she asked me to put his mug shot on a T-shirt for her.
I
she's
know
she's serious. That's my girl.
I know the councilman you talking about. He's not right. He's just not right. And so, but yeah, I definitely will hit her up. We'll make it happen. I'll let her pick the topics. I'll just be the moderator. So,
Sounds like a plan to me.
any last words before we go?
No, again, appreciate you having me on the show once again. I need to clear my schedule so I can come on there more. As always, number love. You've been doing. I didn't know you would celebrate what your fourth anniversary not
Yeah,
too
four
long
years.
ago. Well,
4 years.
congratulations on that. I hate I haven't been in the loop because I would have asked to be on that show to help you celebrate. But yeah, man, you keep speaking your truth and keep doing your thing. Proud of you.
Do you want to give a huge birthday shout out before we go?
No, not really. Well, my brother's birthday was yesterday, so happy birthday,
Yeah,
happy belated birthday, Jason. Our cousin Teddy, his birthday was yesterday as well. Happy belated birthday to him as well.
definitely, man. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Uh, Once again, thank you. Y'all make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Also subscribe to the channel, Drinking After Dark Podcast YouTube channel. please be safe this weekend. I know everybody um, out here is gonna be shopping, so please be safe. Be safe. Be safe. Don't be fighting over products. I know y'all trying to get the school supplies and all that stuff.
There's plenty of crayons for everybody. There's plenty
Mm.
of magic markers for everybody.
Yeah.
You
So
don't have to
please,
stop.
you ain't got y'all ain't gotta go to one sport spot. They got all
Right.
different type of stores y'all can get that stuff. So I know everybody trying to get the school supplies and everything that they need for their kids. So uh don't act a fool. That's
Please
all I'm saying.
don't. This ain't Black Friday.
No, this ain't Black
Save
Friday.
save all that foolishness for Black Friday. It's just back to school.
Yeah. I know parents are happy. They can't wait for the kids to go back, but hey, it is what it is. All right, y'all. I'm Darius from Drinking After Dark Podcast. That's my cousin Ron. We out. Peace.